My husband Daniel had been dead for exactly 47 minutes when a little boy sprinted into the funeral chapel, hugged the coffin, and yelled, "Daddy, wake up." Every head turned toward me. I was Daniel's wife of 11 years, and apparently the universe had purchased premium drama. 100 mourners stared at me as if I had misplaced an entire child. Aunt Linda dropped a sandwich into her purse. Uncle Bob whispered, "I knew Daniel was too organized." I did not know what organization had to do with secret children, but Bob had once blamed inflation on dolphins. The boy's mother rushed inside wearing sunglasses large enough to receive satellite television. She grabbed his shoulders and said, "Oliver, we discussed this." Oliver pointed at Daniel's portrait. "But Mom, that's Dad." The room became so silent that even the funeral music seemed embarrassed. "Who are you?" I asked. The woman removed her sunglasses with the slow confidence of a soap opera villain. "I'm Maya," she replied. "And this is Oliver." My mother-in-law gasped. Not a normal gasp either. It was the noise of a vacuum cleaner swallowing a sock. Maya handed me Oliver's birth certificate. Daniel's full name appeared under father. My knees almost resigned from their jobs. Oliver was 7, born during Daniel's famous corporate retreat in Miami. Daniel had returned from that trip with sunburn, a coffee mug, and apparently fatherhood. Before I could speak, Daniel's phone rang inside the coffin. Half the guests screamed. Aunt Linda threw holy water, which was actually lemon-flavored sparkling water. The funeral director calmly opened the coffin and removed the phone. His face suggested this was not covered in funeral school. The caller's name was Emergency Lasagna. I answered because grief had already destroyed my standards. A nervous man whispered, "The package is under the duck. Trust nobody wearing orthopedic shoes." Then he hung up. Every elderly relative immediately became a suspect. Daniel collected ceramic ducks. He owned 43 of them because one midlife crisis apparently was not enough. I raced home with Maya and Oliver. The largest duck sat above the fireplace, judging us with tiny painted eyes. Underneath it, we found a brass key and a taco coupon. The key opened Daniel's locked desk drawer. Inside were photographs of Maya, Oliver, and Daniel at birthday parties, school plays, and a terrifying clown restaurant. I felt betrayed. Daniel had claimed he hated clowns. The secret child was painful, but the clown hypocrisy felt strangely personal. Maya insisted she had never dated Daniel. According to her, he was Oliver's godfather, not his biological father. Then why is his name on the certificate? I demanded. Maya sighed. Because Oliver's real father vanished, and Daniel was protecting us. Naturally, the plot ordered another espresso. Oliver's real father was Victor, Daniel's older brother. This was surprising because Daniel had never mentioned a brother. My mother-in-law had always claimed he was an only child. She also claimed her potato salad was famous, so her relationship with Truth was already suspicious. Victor had disappeared 8 years earlier after stealing money from the family business. Before vanishing, he left Maya pregnant and owing 3 months of rent. Daniel stepped in, paid her bills, and promised to keep Victor's identity hidden. Heroic behavior, terrible communication skills. Daniel could have told me, I said. Maya nodded. Yes. He was brave enough to fight criminals but terrified of uncomfortable conversations. That sounded exactly like my husband. Once, he drove 18 miles to avoid telling a waiter that his soup was cold. Inside the drawer, we found a receipt for locker 404 at Central Station. The number felt appropriate because my understanding of my marriage was currently not found. Oliver asked whether the locker contained treasure. I told him it probably contained additional emotional damage. We reached Central Station while still dressed for the funeral. People moved away from us, possibly assuming we were a traveling ghost family. The brass key opened locker 404. Inside sat a laptop, $50,000, and one plastic container labeled "Do Not Eat." Oliver immediately opened the forbidden container. It held a tuna sandwich. "This mystery smells terrible," he announced. Beneath the sandwich was a flash drive wrapped in foil. Maya stared at him. "How did you find that?" Oliver shrugged. "I never respect food warnings. The laptop opened automatically when we inserted the drive." Daniel appeared in a recorded video wearing pajamas covered with dancing bananas. "Rachel, if you're watching this, I'm dead," he said. The bananas ruined the seriousness, but grief rarely receives professional costume design. Daniel explained that Victor had returned 6 weeks earlier. He demanded money and threatened to take Oliver. Worse, Victor had been stealing from the family company through a fake business called Extremely Normal Accounting. Criminal creativity was clearly not his strongest skill. Daniel had collected evidence against Victor. He planned to meet a detective after the funeral fundraiser on Friday. Unfortunately, he died on Wednesday when his car rolled into a decorative fountain. The police called it an accident. Daniel's video called it extremely suspicious and also terrible parking. His final instruction was simple: deliver the laptop to Detective Rosa Garcia. He warned us not to trust anyone from his family, especially his father. Then he added, "Also, Rachel, please delete my browser history. Some mysteries should remain buried with the dead." Before we could leave, 3 men in black suits entered the station. They wore dark glasses indoors and walked in perfect formation, like a discount boy band for criminals. The tallest one pointed at us. "Mr. Carter wants his laptop back." Daniel's father was also Mr. Carter, which clarified nothing. Maya grabbed the money, I grabbed the laptop, and Oliver grabbed the tuna sandwich. We ran through the station. Oliver's priorities were confusing but consistent, an important quality during emergencies. We escaped by jumping onto a sightseeing bus filled with senior citizens. The suited men followed, but Grandma Edith tripped one with her cane. "Nobody interrupts my historical landmarks," she declared. Within seconds, the entire retirement group had joined our criminal resistance. I called Detective Garcia. She told us to meet her at a 24-hour laundromat because it had cameras and excellent vending machines. 10 minutes later, she arrived carrying a badge, a serious expression, and cheese chips the color of construction equipment. Garcia examined the laptop and confirmed Daniel had uncovered years of fraud. Victor had stolen millions, but Daniel's father secretly protected him to avoid a public scandal. The Carter family did not sweep problems under the rug. They purchased a larger rug and held a charity dinner on it. Garcia believed Victor had damaged Daniel's car. However, the laptop files were encrypted. We needed Daniel's password before the evidence could be used. His password hint read, "The greatest love of my life." I tried my name. Incorrect. Even grief paused to enjoy my humiliation. Maya tried Oliver's name. Incorrect. Oliver suggested tacos, and the laptop unlocked immediately. I stared at the screen. Daniel's greatest love was tacos. 11 years of marriage had lost to seasoned beef inside a crunchy shell. Honestly, I respected the consistency. The files revealed Victor's next target, the Carter Foundation's annual memorial fundraiser, scheduled that evening. He planned to steal $2 million in donations and escape aboard the foundation's yacht. Rich criminals apparently refused to flee in normal transportation. Garcia wanted to cancel the gala. I had a better idea. Victor still believed we possessed the only copy of Daniel's evidence. We would attend, pretend the laptop was unprotected, and let him incriminate himself. Garcia called the plan dangerous. Oliver called it extremely content-worthy. That evening, we entered the gala wearing our funeral clothes. Nobody questioned it because wealthy people often mistake sadness for fashion. Daniel's father stood on stage praising his son's honesty while Victor, disguised as a waiter, served shrimp with the confidence of a man who had never carried a tray. Victor approached me near the dessert table. He looked remarkably like Daniel, except Daniel had kinder eyes and knew how to hold cheesecake correctly. Victor whispered, "Give me the laptop, or your little friend disappears." Oliver was currently hiding beneath the chocolate fountain. I followed Victor into a private office while Garcia listened through my hidden microphone. Daniel's father was waiting inside. He removed his orthopedic shoes and sighed. The mysterious phone warning suddenly made sense. Crime had excellent arch support. Daniel's father admitted protecting Victor for years. A criminal son was bad for business, especially when your company slogan was "Integrity is our concrete." He had also helped cover up Daniel's crash. "I protected this family," he insisted. Apparently, protection now included accidental murder and excellent catering. Victor became furious. He had expected his father to help him escape, but Mr. Carter planned to blame everything on him. The two men began arguing over who had destroyed the family more efficiently. It was less a criminal meeting and more a competitive performance review. Victor finally shouted, "I only cut Daniel's brake line because you promised me the money." The room became silent. My microphone had captured everything. Then Oliver's voice came through the office speaker, "We got him, chat." He had accidentally connected his tablet to the sound system. Victor realized we had recorded him and grabbed the laptop. He ran into the ballroom, knocking over an ice sculpture shaped like Daniel. The frozen Daniel landed on the real murderer with magnificent timing. Even in death, my husband remained aggressively helpful. Mr. Carter tried to escape through the kitchen. Aunt Linda blocked him with a tray of miniature quiches. "I never trusted your potato salad opinions," she said, despite potato salad having no relevance. Grief had transformed my relatives into an extremely confused security team. Detective Garcia and her officers entered the ballroom. Victor crawled from beneath the ice sculpture and attempted one final escape. He slipped on Oliver's abandoned tuna sandwich and landed directly at Garcia's feet. The sandwich had completed its heroic journey. Victor was arrested for Daniel's murder, fraud, extortion, and impersonating a waiter without basic tray skills. Mr. Carter was charged with obstruction and financial crimes. The gala guests applauded until Garcia reminded them that it was an active crime scene, not dinner theater. The next morning, Daniel's funeral resumed. This time, Oliver approached the coffin quietly. "You weren't my real dad," he said, "but you showed up." Maya cried. I cried. Uncle Bob cried because someone had eaten the last breakfast burrito. I told Oliver that biology did not decide every family. Daniel had chosen to protect him, teach him, and attend school plays featuring aggressively untalented recorder music. Anyone willing to survive that much squeaking had earned the title of dad. The stolen money was recovered and returned to the charity. Maya and Oliver moved closer to my neighborhood. We became an unusual little family connected by grief, secrets, and Daniel's inability to explain anything before creating a full criminal scavenger hunt. Several months later, I finally watched Daniel's remaining videos. Most contained financial evidence. One was simply 14 minutes of him trying to teach Oliver how to make pancakes. They burned 6 pancakes, damaged 1 ceiling tile, and somehow called emergency services. In Daniel's final personal message, he apologized for lying to me. He said he had wanted to protect everyone and had instead created a situation requiring police, a tuna sandwich, and Grandma Edith's combat cane. At least he understood the scale of his mistake. Every year, Maya, Oliver, and I visit Daniel's grave with flowers and tacos. Oliver always tells him, "Dad, your plan was terrible, but it worked." I still miss Daniel, and I am still angry. Love can hold both feelings, plus salsa, if the container is large enough.